Howdy folks, it's your boy Jaimetud here. Well, looks like I'm doing one last stab at the best scares after all. I kind of sat back and I thought to myself about how I was going to do this, and I thought to myself, I did it 3 times already, the best scares of childhood videos, and I really could not top any of that. The last one that we did with the whole group, that was just an epic end to a trilogy, and I want to keep it like that, even though you guys voted for more best scares. And so I was thinking about what I could possibly do for another one. At first I thought maybe I'd like to take a stab at looking at some other scares some viewers thought about from their childhoods, and maybe passing my judgment on them, just see what got their goats, and that didn't happen. Actually, that would be an interesting thing. If you guys remember some of your obscure childhood scares, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. So instead, I just decided, you know what, I'm gonna make this a video log style presentation about the one scare from all the previous videos that never made it. And you guys are probably going to be pretty surprised by what it is, actually. Electricity. Yeah, electricity. That was a big childhood scare of mine. I didn't talk about it much, but it was definitely there. For the longest time, I was electrophobic as a child. Yeah, that's an actual term. They have a term for every phobia these days. It's kind of amazing. And there's a bit of a story behind that. You see, when I was about 3 years old, I made the mistake of taking a keychain and sticking it onto a cable going into the wall. And I was perfectly fine afterward. All I remember were sparks, but my God, the noise, it frightened the piss out of me. And for the longest time after that, electricity, in pretty much all forms, had a bit of an effect on me. Of course, it's perfectly natural. I mean, you should be afraid of electricity because it will kill you if you get too much of it. But the problem with being electrophobic is when you've had that type of experience and you sit down and watch movies and TV shows and cartoons, even the ones that you like, and you realize that there are a lot of gags that are based around electricity or people getting electrocuted. It can be rather inadvertently unnerving, let's say that. Funny enough, some of my favorite movies and TV shows, they all had some form of electrical gag in there, and depending on the severity of the gag, that showed whether or not I could actually take it. But there were some scenes that were actually pretty legendary, and that's what I wanted to talk about this time. That's right, I call this the long-lost childhood scare, electricity. First subject I want to talk about is King Ralph, a little romantic comedy about John Goodman becoming the King of England because he's royalty, way down the bloodline somewhere, and he just sort of falls into the position of, being king. Why is that, you ask? Well, that's the only reason I remember this movie at all, is because in the very beginning of the film, they electrocute the entire royal family. Just wipe them all out. It's pretty amazing. They go to this family photo deal. It's completely unsafe. There's electrical cords in the water, and the ground on which they're standing is wet, so as soon as they take the picture...
1, 2, 3...
The entire royal family is fried, and I get it. It was a joke. Their hair is flying up and everything. No, that was pretty disturbing for me. I mean, they have to shock everybody to death and kill them all right in the beginning of the film, and I guess it's funny because they're British? Is that the joke? Let's electrocute the British family? I don't know. Probably the next most mentionable incident was Ernest Goes to Jail. Yes, and I had an Ernest movie in my first list, so why not have another one come in at the very end of this? Yeah, here's another one that plays up electricity for gags. There's several times over the course of one film, Ernest is electrocuted. Either it's at his job or whatever. It seemed like this script was pretty much written around to see how many times we can get this one guy electrocuted in a movie. 4 times. 4 times. And it doesn't get better with each time. Or maybe it does. This movie could practically be a public service announcement for the dangers of electricity. Almost. Almost, because the first time it happens, he's fine afterward, but the joke is played off that, hey, you know what, he's magnetized, everything in the room could fly over to him and kill him. It's sort of played off as a big joke. Second time it happens, a little bit less impressive, again, played off for laughs. Third time, he's in the electric chair, and this is what I find particularly weird about the film, is that they've already set up so that if you get electrified in this movie, things are going to cling to you, right? That's the rules. No, not this time. All of a sudden afterward, he's able to project electricity out of his fingers. And that's when we're given a climax where our hero, Ernest, is literally zapping his way out of prison. Pretty much, practically, he's probably killing police officers. That's our hero, right? This is a family film. Killing police officers. Laser out of the fingers. And then the fourth and final time he gets electrocuted, he's trying to take down the bad guy, but it somehow gives him the ability to fly. How does that work?
He's polarized. He's weightless. Gravity's lost its grip.
Oh, shit!
I don't know, maybe it's an Ernest movie, I'm just thinking too much of it.
After all, I am Ernest P. Worrell.
Electro Man.
Third example I can think of. Addams Family Values. Yes, the beloved Addams Family and how they like to electrocute each other off screen and possibly kill each other, but then they just sort of come back because they're, I don't know, invulnerable. It's the Addams Family, you don't question it. They all love each other, but they're also psycho. So the climax of Addams Family Values has Fester's wife, played by Joan Cusack, about to shock them all in the electric chair. And there's a bit of a plot hole there because she's trying to kill them all, I guess, but then earlier on in the film, she tried to kill Fester by electrocuting him, and that didn't work. So why is she trying this way? I don't know. Overlooking that, let's see what electricity does. Yeah, the baby manages to rewire everything. I don't know quite how that worked, but yeah, the electrical shock goes right back to her, and my God, look at that. Just look at that image. Not only is she electrocuted, but she is fried. She is ashes. She's just a pile of dirt afterward. Like, how do you bury this? And somehow her credit cards are completely unharmed and all of her jewelry. That shit would have been melted. I'm just saying. Yeah, I can watch the scene safely now, but as a kid I remember just closing my eyes during this whole segment. And it's interesting because they have one of the funniest gags in the whole film. They shoot a baby up in the air so that it can be seen through an airplane window. That was hilarious. I remember cracking up at that. That's just so funny. And then that went dark pretty quick. And the fourth and final one I want to talk about, Home Alone 2. Yeah, Macaulay Culkin. It's the same formula as the first film. He gets separated from his family somehow. He ends up alone somehow. The same burglars end up with him somehow in the same city. And of course, at the end of the film, they have another climax where it's just one gag after another, him defending himself, practically torturing these guys. But the difference between this one and the first film is that the traps this time around were a hell of a lot more mean-spirited. I mean, it just looks a whole lot more painful. I was pretty amazed that this even got a PG rating. And then we got the electricity gag, of course. And Marv is trying to wash himself off from all this pain. He grabs a couple of faucets that he doesn't know are connected to a giant battery, and yeah, guess what happens? Doesn't take a big surprise. But there was one thing about this scene that made it clearly a lot more traumatizing than the rest of the entries on this list. At least they were all trying to be funny. What did they do here? He's a freaking skeleton! Screaming at the top of his lungs! I fail to see the humor here. I mean, I feel sorry for this guy. He's the bad guy, and I feel sorry for him. I had problems after watching this scene, and I'm pretty sure some folks watching this video can probably testify, but for a while after watching this, I was afraid of faucets. Amazingly, I was able to get into the bathtub, and I'd just sort of be sitting in the bathtub, water would be coming on, and I'd just be like, okay, any moment now, the water could turn off, and a bolt of lightning is going to come right through that, and I'm just going to be gone. So I wanted to have someone in the room to take a bath with me, just in case that would happen, like that would solve anything. Well, now you guys all know about the one childhood scare that got lost. Now just to play us out with something that a little bit more innocent, I think I'll switch over to see what the UK has to offer.
Look, over there, there's a football.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, another PSA. Okay, this can't be too bad.
Whoa, place electrified. That's for frightened little kids. You're right if you don't touch anything. Yeah, well, I don't particularly want to mess around with this type of stuff. You're just scared of getting caught.
Darren? Darren!
No door!
Stay safe. Stay out. Don't take a chance with electricity.
No, that's not the slogan you should go for. The slogan you should go for is electricity. It will f***ing kill you. Anyway, that's all I got for this episode. Don't forget to join me next time. Ciao for now. Happy Halloween. Be safe out there. What the? What's this?
You gotta know it. It's electric. Woogie woogie woogie. Then you can't hold it. It's electric. Woogie woogie woogie. But you know it.
If you like what you saw here, please try to help support it. I have a Patreon page. You can help me by going over there, throwing some money, whatever amount that you like to throw in. If you're not watching this on YouTube, I also have a YouTube channel. So go there and hit that subscribe button to be notified whenever new videos and new content come out. I'm also on Facebook. Go over there and like that page so you can be notified as well whenever a new episode or video of some sort come out, as well as exclusive behind the scenes content. You can also hit me up on Twitter over there to see what kind of stuff that I like to share. Just be warned though, I don't like getting too many messages. So if you're constantly sending me stuff all the time, I can get really agitated. Remember, my privacy is golden. And if you like my t-shirt, I got a t-shirt store over there too. I got links, I got fresh designs, I got new stuff coming out over there, provided of course that anything actually sells. That's about it. If you like what I do, hit that like button, Facebook me, tweet me, share me on your little social networking sites, do whatever you gotta do. Email me to all your little friends, and that's all I gotta say. Thank you and peace.